Arizona dive fans, welcome back to the second dive of the day, also at Vista Point, Lake Pleasant. I'm going back after the fact in doing this introduction because I forgot to the first time. I was putting together this second video and realized I didn't have any commentary on the dive profiles. So here we are with that. This was actually two dives that I've mashed into one. According to Patty, they want your dives to be at least 20 minutes to count. And as you can see, we missed that by a whopping 49 seconds. Come on, Ralph. We should have been paying attention. I could be sitting at 99 dives right now instead of 98. But hey, that's all right. We'll make up for that in Arkansas this weekend. But this dive was short because Ralph was teaching a class later that day, and at the time he thought he had to conserve his air, which I totally understood, no problems at all. We later learned that Fred had some extra air, and there was no need for that conservation, but you only know what you know. But just a quick look, you're probably going to hear this introduction again because I did it on the footage, totally forgetting about the profile look. So I apologize for that. It was a weird video. I made a few mistakes. I put the last video segment first, and so I did some extra talking on that, which I think I've edited out. But anyway, let's take a look at this dive. Got down to 41 feet. Not cold at all. That's a very warm 86 degrees. Got to the surface. This is where we met up with Fred and his student. Taking a look at the second dive. This was the checkout dive for the student. I don't think I shadowed them the entire way, but we might have. At one point, I was sitting at the bottom of the dive flag waiting on the student to do his navigation, I believe. So that might have been... you see the beginning, you see the first, 9 minutes of this dive. I was hanging out at 15 feet, which would be right at the base of the flag, so that's probably what was happening there. Then they came back, and we decided to go on the cruise. And that was to the poker table and back. I think that was about it. Got a little deeper this dive. I do remember hitting some cold stuff this dive. Well, colder. I still had my wetsuit on. I did not have my hood and gloves on. But everybody else with me had basically no thermal protection, so it's not like I got cold or anything. But this dive was 29 minutes, so I'm going to mash that together with the other one for a grand total of, what would that be, 48 minutes and 15 seconds, if I did my math correctly, which I need to always double check that. But there's the profiles in all their glory. Let's take a look at some murky green water. Hello everyone, and welcome back to dive number 2 at Vista Point, Lake Pleasant, Arizona. That's Ralph. So I'll go ahead and warn you, you're going to hear some weird commentary on the last segment of this dive because I screwed up my playlist and I put the last segment first, or it was ordered first. And so I started off talking on that segment like it was the beginning of the dive, and didn't realize until about 3/4 of the way through, maybe even longer, that it was actually the end. So, oh my gosh, I'm watching Modern Marvels in the background, and they're doing space stations, and there was just a launch explosion. This might be the Challenger. Oh man, that's awful. Anyway, yeah, that was Ralph. You're going to hear a lot of repeats between the last segment and this one. But yeah, I met up with Ralph finally. Ralph had to teach a class, actually, so he agreed to dive with me. He said it had to be a truncated dive because he needed to save his air for the class, which, you know, I totally understood. But we talked to Fred on the surface. Not yet, I think. So we finished our quick dive, and we met up with Fred on the surface, and Fred was like, hey, I got an extra tank, so yeah, we went back down on the air we had, which was awesome because, you know, when in Rome, I was out there. I had 2 tanks. I wanted to use it. I already kind of cut the first dive short. But yeah, Ralph was great. Todd was great. You know, I had a good day of diving. Very friendly people. I appreciate them putting up with me and diving with me. And yeah, so you're going to hear this again at the end, but yeah, I think Ralph laid down, so that rope is attached to a dive flag on the surface, and he hangs this light off of it, which is nice when you're trying to find your way back, especially in the murk. It's a little easier to see with the flashing light, just a little bit. I'm not sure where we're going. I think, yeah, we were following this rope to the poker table. I think we were going to the poker table. You'll see what the poker table is in a minute. It's, yeah, but you'll see. Oh, watch out. Almost ran into the tree. Yeah, it's a table. I don't even see any playing cards. But, it's a table. They got 4 skeletons sitting around it. They got regulators jammed in their mouths. It's pretty cool. We went there twice, actually. Yeah, so this dive, I did a quick dive with Fred. I think it was less than 20 minutes. I'd have to look at the profile, which, you know, I can do. Hold on. I have the power. I have the technology. Yep, first dive with Ralph was 19 minutes, 11 seconds. And then that's when we met up with Fred, and Fred's like, Ralph, I got some air, man. You don't need to save your air. And Ralph was like, all right, let's go back under. Yeah, so that second leg of this dive, I'm gonna count. My computer counted it as 2 dives. I'm gonna count it as 1. I jammed them together, counted as 1. Fred was teaching a student, and the student did his checkout dive on this day, so I actually tagged along for that. That was pretty cool. Took me back to my days when I was doing dive checkouts. Well, just one dive checkout, I guess. I think I mentioned that day. What does that say? I can't quite see my depth there. 15? Yeah, I actually had a runaway ascent on my checkout dive. I'm sure I've mentioned that in previous videos. That's where you go down depth, you know, you go down, pump some air in your BCD, and when you come back up, that air starts to expand, and if you don't vent it out, you reach a certain point where you reach past the ceiling where you start accelerating upward, and that's exactly what happened to me. So Fred's student did not have that problem today, on this day, so, you know, good for him. He was a lot better on his checkout dive than I was on mine. And I had that problem for about the first 10 dives. I think in my first 10 dives, I had like 3 runaway ascents. I don't know why. I don't know why that was a problem for me. I just kind of forgot to vent air. I don't know. But I'm on top of it now. I know where all my dump valves are. And I use them all too. I do use them all. Not sure what these white boxes are. I guess there's a rope to the poker table. I don't know who laid this rope, or you hear that? I decided my BCD needed some more air. I guess I was doing full lungs too much. Turn that light on. Let's see something. Where's a fish at? Let's find me a fish. I don't see any fish. You guys see any fish? I don't see no fish. There's another. Oh, there it is. Here's the poker table. So, God. Got 4 skeletons sitting around a table. You know, I'm not a forensic CSI, but given the high degree of decomposition, I'd say these guys have been sitting here for quite a while. They must have run out of air. Look at them. Died with the regulators still in their mouths. It's crazy. It's crazy. I guess they all just ran out of air. And it was murky. You had to get right on top of them to see anything. You know, I didn't think of it at the time, but are these like functioning good regulators? Because shoot, maybe I should, you know, grab one of these. No, I think my regulator is my regulator. I think it's pretty good. It's good enough. So when I first started diving, somebody from my dive club recommended the regulator that I have. It's a what is it? Sherwood Brute. I don't know. I didn't know anything about it. I still really don't know much about regulators. But he was like, he emailed me some weekend and was like, this shop has this thing on sale. He said, you're not gonna. He's like, basically said, this is the best bang for your buck at this sale price. He's like, you're not gonna get better value for cheaper. So I totally took his word for it. Bought that sucker right there. Yeah, I haven't had any problems with it. I get it serviced. It's actually in the shop right now. I'm leaving in a week to go diving, so I hope they hurried it along. Yeah, it's been good for me. It's environmentally sealed, so that means it should work in cold water. I've never had it fail. I've never had it fail on me. If I got one complaint, and this actually happened the last time it was serviced. So one of the things I do not like about it, you know, it's entry-level regulator. It doesn't have any user-adjustable knobs. So your better ones have like knobs on the second stage at least that let you adjust basically how hard you have to try to breathe. You know, too loose and it'll free flow and start spilling, you know, air into the water, and you know, too tight and you really gotta suck in hard to breathe, and so you want to find a happy medium there. And the last time they serviced my regulator, I think they put it a little too far to the easy spectrum. Because if I kind of go inverted, or if I'm swimming along even flat level and I dip my head down and like look behind me, if I like look under behind me, it will start free flowing most of the time. It took me a while to realize what was going on with that. But yeah, it'll start doing that. I think if I have higher pressure in my tank, if I got lower pressure, I think it's less likely to happen. What are you saying, Ralph? Go this way. Alright. We did not get deep. You can tell by the visibility here. It was, you know, it's not nearly as good as it was in the first video. We did not get very deep. In fact, I can check. I have the power. Let me go back and look. That visibility is... Well, I'm right on top of it. Yeah, we got to a max of 40 feet. Alright, 41.3 feet. That was right around where the thermocline was. Yeah, you'll notice I'm not wearing any gloves this dive, and I'm pretty sure I was not wearing a hood. So I'm watching all these people dive, and like, you know, Ralph's got a t-shirt on, Fred had to cut off, and I'm like, why am I the only idiot with a thick wetsuit? But so I wore the wetsuit the second dive. But yeah, the gloves I said no, and I'm pretty sure the hood I said no. The glove, you lose so much dexterity with the gloves. You'd think after a while you get used to it, but I haven't. Anyway, you can't feel anything through them, and you lose so much. So if I don't have to wear gloves are like my least favorite thing to wear, because plus they're a pain in the ass to take on and off. Yeah, if I don't need gloves, I do not want to wear them. kind of on the fence. So I'm diving next week at, or 2 weeks. Why am I back on the surface?
I just gotta save my air for these 3 guys coming in, or I would take you out a little longer.
No, I understand. Yeah, thanks for going with me at all. I appreciate it.
Yeah, there's Ralph explaining that he's got to save some air for the class. I just did a 360, so that's where he walked down from. So you can see the those tents are about where the cars are. It's a pretty long walk from the tents down to the water. I guess we had a conversation with Fred off camera that he had some extra air. And so Ralph was like, yeah, we can go back down.
Ready? Yep.
Yeah, thank you, Ralph, for diving with me. Enjoyed it. We came down on his dive flag again. I'm not sure if this is the video. Oh, see it? Don't smack the bottom. You treat every bottom like it's a delicate bottom. That's the rule of thumb. He's futzing with his dive flag there. Get tired doing this commentary kind of late. Not super late. 12:47 a.m. It's not terrible. Like that. See that? That's generally when my regulator kind of free flow sometimes. Yeah, I went on a float trip yesterday, so I'm struggling a little bit. Starting to feel it. Yeah, I wanted to knock this commentary out, and probably gonna knock myself out after that. Got a little ways to go, about 20 minutes left, I think. We'll get there. We'll get there. Sometimes you just gotta put your head down and grind it out. That is a square-looking rock. It's gotta be fake. What is that? Is that a bench? Looks like a bench. I don't know. We're already at super low water level, so I can't imagine that thing ever being exposed. That might have been a pre-dam object. Yeah, so this is a man-made lake. I can't remember what I said that made the tape because I had to redo the first bit of commentary when I screwed up the screen capture video. So I can't remember if I've said that on camera or not. Or said it with a hot mic. But yeah, this is a man-made lake. And by the dam, I think you can go diving pretty deep is what, I believe that's what Ralph and Fred were telling me. Still no fish. Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot to see here. What are we doing? I don't even remember coming up to the surface now.
Yeah. Oh, good. Is he okay? You didn't drown him? I took him to the poker table.
No, usually I
How was it?
when you're panicking, your eyes
It's cool.
are wide and
As good as the quarry?
see that, I'm gonna grab onto your
I don't know. I guess not.
That's okay. It's better.
I was not thinking quickly.
We the first time we went down about 60 feet, it started clearing up down there. We saw a ceramic turtle and some dulls. Yeah. Cold water felt good.
I know, I got 7. I was like, ooh, that's a...
Alright, so that's where we met up with Fred. So Fred was the one I was talking to there, chit-chatting with, and he had his student behind him. So this is where I kind of joined up. Ralph and I joined up with Fred and his student. I can't remember his student's name, of course. But this is where we joined up with them and kind of shadowed his checkout dive. Although I think the first part of it, Fred had his student doing a navigation, so I was just kind of hanging out by the flag, waiting for that, and then they came back, and then we did the checkout dive, I think. I should probably redo the commentary for that last section. It's just gonna be so weird. Somehow I got the last section to be first, and I started talking over it like it was the first, and then realized by the end it was the end. And you know, you think I'd be getting better at this, and I feel like I'm not getting that much better at this. I'm still making a lot of mistakes when it comes to putting these videos together. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna redo it. It is what it is. Plus, I'm tired. That's like 5 extra minutes I'd have to stay awake. That's a lot of time when you're tired. Oh, speaking of which, how much time we got? Oh man, I'm only at 18 minutes. We got like 15 minutes to go. Yep, 3, 1, 5. Yeah, we got about 15 minutes to go. Oh yeah, we all together now. So that's Ralph in front of me. It's got to be Fred on my left. I saw the spool. There's no way the student's carrying a spool or a reel right now. That was not part of my beginner's kit. Pretty bad visibility. I saw a few fish, but not many. I don't think we've seen any on camera. Have we seen any fish on camera? I don't remember seeing any. Dead air. Maybe now's the time for my Stranger Things 4 review. I'm tempted. I'm tempted to start going off on Stranger Things 4. And really the whole series. I'm tempted. Nope. Watch out. It's a tree branch. Don't you poke me. Don't poke the bear. You trying to poke this bear, tree branch? Is that what you're trying to do? Oh, back at the poker table. Yeah, look at that. They got like regulators just hanging out of their mouths and stuff. I'm like, man, I wonder if those are better than what I've got. Pretty cool. I don't know who sets this stuff up, but they obviously put some time and effort into this one. No cards. I see no playing cards. They tell me it's a poker table, but yeah, I don't see any cards, so. Details, details. Yeah, I didn't see the scuba tank until the second trip here either. Sucker's buried pretty good. I assume, oh yeah, the top is even off that. That's just a flooded cylinder. Maybe it had micro cracks in it or something. So Stranger Things 4. Nah. Oh, there's a fish. Was that a fish? I think that was a fish. So a small one skirting by. This was like right at the thermocline. Or was that 35? What did my watch say there? I think I said 35 feet. So this is right above it. There's a fish. There's a tiny little fish. So this is like right above the thermocline from what I remember. Maybe right at it. I remember on this dive we did touch the thermocline. You saw Fred, he was wearing the cutoff, you know, Billy Badass over there blasting the guns. And I think a student was not dressed thickly either, so we definitely touched the thermocline. I think we went down in it just a little bit, but it's fine by me. What happened there? Did I just give the okay? I looked away for a second. I'm not sure what I did. Oh, man. That's a student. I wish I could remember his name. I think I'm going to send this link to Fred in case a student wants to check himself out. Man, I cannot remember his name. It's awful. Sorry. If you ever watch this, student, I apologize for not remembering your name. And yeah, I told you at the time, your checkout dive, you did a lot better job than I did on mine. So, congratulations. I hope you're doing a lot of diving. Being in the Midwest, my closest dive spot is almost 3 hours away. So, I assume you're a Phoenix resident. Take advantage of the 45-minute drive to Lake Pleasant. Maybe even shorter if you live up north. Or further if you live down south. I don't know where you live, but wherever you live, it's gotta be closer than where I gotta go to dive, so enjoy it. Take advantage of it. And I say that, my cousins, they just moved out west, and they're like, you know, essentially a weekend trip away from somewhere they gotta dive, so. They're telling me to enjoy Mermet. Well, it's right next door, you know, relatively. Yeah, this is just not good video. This is not good movie. Not good movies. No visibility. Just staring into the green abyss right now. This might be the first... Nope, that's a lie. Never mind. I was about to say, this might be the first group of 4 I've ever done, but though I've been to Cozumel, and we were 5 deep in Cozumel. Or, no, that was 4. Sorry, that was only 4. Instructor, 2 Cozos. Well, 5 total, including me. Yeah, never mind, it was 5. But in Cozumel, you can actually see each other when you're more than 10 feet apart, which is good and bad, I think. You know Cozumel, if you guys ever been diving in Cozumel, it's there's strong currents down there, so it's like drift diving. Basically, you jump in the water and go down, and the current pushes you along. What am I doing? Oh, I'm doing my Jay-Z thing now. 44 feet deep. Hey, 44. That was my college number. That's the best depth. That's the best depth. But in Cozumel, you're kind of drifting along, and I found, there's 5 of us total in that group. But we were way spread out. We were really spread out. And I don't think that was a good thing. I mean, if somebody had a problem, especially if you gotta go into the current, forget about it. I thought we should have been a little closer together, but with the current, that makes it kind of tough. I'm thinking of me. So I'm kind of a bigger guy. I'm, you know, 6'4". What is Ralph trying to tell me? My cousin, you know, he's a pretty big guy himself, and it's like you're in this current, and it's just like a sail in the wind, you know. And like we're kind of big, and our dive instructor down there is this tiny little woman, tiny Irish woman living in Cozumel. You know, blonde hair, the whole deal. Not that matters for diving. She just kind of sticks out among the local population. That's all I meant to say by that. But you know, just like a sail in the wind, you know, I'm a bigger sail, and so it catches us and my cousin, you know, more than our tiny dive instructor, and so we'll like go sailing past her sometimes. And like those are the most unfun dives down there when you're in a really strong current and you're flying past the instructor. And I've had at least 2 dives down there where it's just like head into the current, kicking as hard as I can just to stay with the group. And you're burning through air because you're working out. You know, diving is not supposed to be a workout. What am I doing here? I don't remember this at all. Yeah, if you're, I've heard before from people, they're like, oh, I'm a terrible swimmer, I'd never be a good diver. And I'm like, I'm a terrible swimmer, you know. If I was told early on in my career, and I'll repeat this good advice, if you're swimming, you're doing it wrong. It's diving is not supposed to be swimming. It's supposed to be relaxing, it's supposed to be exerting as little energy as possible. To extend your air. You don't want to be working out, breathing your air, you know, burning through your air quickly. And the instructor down at Cozumel, I mean, she was fantastic. She just, you know, perfect form. She'd flick her ankles and like go 10 feet into the current, you know. Yeah, so combined with my big size and not her skill level, I go flying past her a lot. There's just nothing here. Just me and Ralph kicking it. I'm not sure where Fred and the student went. I guess they gotta be close. Anybody see the pink fins? There they are. There's the pink fins. Alright, there's the student. I don't know where Fred went. He's gotta be close to the student, though. Alright, last segment. There's me holding my computer up to my camera, or so I think. How many times have I done that and been completely wrong? Is this the same last segment, or is this the second to last segment? Because I already did the commentary for the last segment, and like I said, I apologize for getting... that said 23 feet, I saw that. 22 feet, alright. Oh yeah, I recognize that, whatever that is. Well, if it turns out I'm doing commentary double, I'll erase the first one because the first one was made out of context. Did not realize I was sitting on the last segment. There's Fred. I don't remember what we were doing here, just hanging out. Well, we did the checkout dive. Waiting on 20 minutes? I don't know. I don't think we're waiting on 20 minutes. We're probably waiting on a safety stop. Nah, because I've been talking for 30 minutes here, so I don't think, yeah, their dive had to be at least 20 minutes. I don't know where the student went. I only saw the three of us hanging out here. I gotta get one of those lights. I got a flashing light just like that for my tank. In fact, that's probably what that's for. But it didn't work. It just straight up didn't work. I tried everything I could to get that sucker to work, and it did not work. But I got my money back swiftly, promptly. I forget which company I bought it through. It was either scuba.com or Leisure Pro. And I think Leisure Pro is merged with scuba.com now. They used to be two separate entities, but last week I tried going to leisurePro.com and it redirected me to scuba.com. So either scuba.com bought Leisure Pro, or they're doing some fancy DNS attack where they're redirecting Leisure.com to themselves. You know, I remember doing that, I think, first time I watched this, so... Yep, 1 minute. Alright, so this commentary is going to overwrite the commentary I did for the first time. That's fine. It's going to flow. It's for the flow. My only worry there is that my introduction for that one's probably better than the one I did for this video because, you know, you do something the second time, immediately afterwards, you're already getting lazy. By the way, I'm telling everybody there, I'm done with my safety stop when I wave my hand over my computer like that. I hit up the 1 earlier, that meant I had 1 minute left to my safety stop. And then when it zeroes out, I wave my hand over it, let everybody know it's cleared out. Man, a lot of bubbles. There we go. Woo! Alright, that's the end. Thanks for watching, folks. Got some hiking coming up next. That will conclude my Arizona trip. Till then, you guys stay classy.